a while, I was like, okay, how committed was she to this book? And you were committed all the way through. I kept watching the finger to see if it would stretch out or something. Thought that was good. I thought the energy of the piece was very good. A couple things that I would recommend. The echo, I think you need tighter. I think you can give me a real echo. I think that's very important. So if you do move on, work on that piece, get it in sync to the point where it's like it is a real echo. I think that would just take it up a notch. I think the fantasy of this particular story and keeping it really simple creates the magic. It gave me a chance to use my imagination. And I think that's what Peter Pan is all about. And imagination. Love the Lost Boy. Thought you sold it. That's really all that I have. I enjoyed it.
I love that it felt like a slumber party with you guys in your PJs. And it was like, I love that it's like kids, it felt like kids telling a story, you know, and that was just like, and the story I feel like was very clear. You know, I think that's one thing that I'm always looking for is like, do we hear the story? And we did hear the story. So I think it was really beautiful. I really loved the characterization you two had when you had to change characters. Your characters were very different from each other. And I think when we first met Smee and Hook, that was super fun. I think that last moment with Wendy was just really, really beautiful. Very simple, very powerful. I think you guys were really in tune with each other. And I like that you were all on stage the whole time. I think that was really, really cool. I also like the music. There were a couple times that I feel like it was a bit louder than you, but I think it was really, really cool. Let's see. Okay. So in general, I think you guys just really just moved like a well-oiled machine together. One question I do have is, or I want you, I recommend thinking about is if you do progress, think about your blackouts and are they really necessary? Because I think some of them may not be necessary. Because we're jumping straight to Lost Boy talking, or we're jumping straight to somebody else talking. And I think we can just, we see you moving it, it's okay. We can watch the wheels turn. And I think you guys do it pretty seamlessly, so I think that's okay. So just think about that as a recommendation, like, do we need that? Because most of the time, I think that what you're doing is choreographed enough to just let us watch it, you know? Let's see. I think one moment that worked really well with the music was just the shoulder shaking. That was really cool. But that was fun. Actually, I really liked the echoes, but I think you can always work on timing those ensemble moments, like always. And I love those kind of moments. Yeah, I think you guys did a beautiful job, and I think you did a really, really good job of like giving us a very clear, well thought out story. So thank you.
Woo!
Instructor? Okay. Did you direct it? Okay. I'm going to give this at the beginning. This is a compliment. It may not sound this way, okay? It's a compliment. I think that acting-wise, you can do more challenging material for the students that you have and the production that you put on. And I saw your name a lot in the program. And so if there are administrators or parents or whoever, this program deserves some help, right? Some other assistance. I run a one-person department, and my name ends up a lot in the program too, so I get it. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, so parents and students advocate for some development of the program. Yeah. There was so much honesty on stage. It was so honest, and it was just charming that we had that. brown onesie. No. I was trying to figure out if it's a onesie or a jumper or what. You have great comic timing.
Very.
Great comic timing. And Tink with the puppet and the puppeteer were linked, right? And that's a kind of a Japanese theater thing where the puppeteer is manipulating, but the puppeteer is doing what the puppet's doing as well. So well done on that. The swaying on the ship, I don't know if anybody saw Shipwreck back in the day. In the movie theater, it's got Shipwreck. I got seasick. The swaying was so believable that I had to like look away. So that was a really nice moment. The scene changes. Think about when you're working these to work for cleanliness and work for purpose, right? We're not just moving a block from one place to the next, right? We're going from one moment in the play to another moment in the play. And whether you want to do that in, in character or how that needs to happen, but it all needs to work together. The other thing I wondered if we could see, if there's a way to see the character transitions from one character to the next. Because you're on stage all the time, which I loved, right? But how do we get into Captain Hook? How do we get into Smee?
There was a moment whenever we fall off the plane as we're walking over here, we transform into the character to go here.
Okay, see that's a great moment. I missed it because there must have been something else happening, right? And that's part of it, right? But that's the idea, right? You see that character change. I wondered with this particular piece if there was a framing device that could have helped us bridge the gap between these kind of contemporary looking pajamas. And I definitely got sleepover, slumber party, and so I don't know if there's a way to frame the script without changing the words or the author's intent so that mom and dad are telling the story, we're all acting it out together and doing Peter Pan. But it was really charming the way you all worked together. And so that was just, it was like adjudicator bingo, and one of the things is, if I were I'm not directing it, but, and that's Mom, I thought you had great commitment, and the captain, okay.
Woo!
Thank you. Peter, I thought you had great energy. I thought the music was lovely and worked and had great punctuation. And I want to echo what Leslie said. That final moment, the only thing that bothered me were the lights went upstage and then they kind of scooted off center. But if they had come directly upstage and framed all of that, it would have been lovely. But you really made that last moment work, Wendy. And I really thought the lighting, those were nice units in the way you manipulated them to come together and become different things. So thank you for sharing your work with us, and congratulations.
Woo! Woo! Yeah.